Welcome back to another segment of The Real Deal, and I'm your host, Shelbie Rhodes. Tonight, I will be diving into the truth of male athletes and female sports reporters. In many situations, there have been cases where male athletes do not respect or take female sportscasters serious. I'll be talking to Texas Tech football players Darius Edwards and David Leonte and getting the truth of how they feel about females in the field. But coming up next, let's take a look at some commercials. Do you want to be a sportscaster? Follow me, and I'll tell you how. Here at Texas Tech University, you can do sports broadcasting. We give you so many options. You can join Double T Insider with Blake Silverthorne, You can be rocking the cameras, interviewing skills. You could do whatever you wanted. You could also do Raider Vision. You could be on the sidelines with your bro, Michael, playing with the football team. Well, actually, you're not actually playing, but you'll be there with your bros. You can do some interviewing skills. You can do whatever you want. You can do some internships. We got you covered. So if Texas Tech is the place where you want to go to be a sports broadcaster, then come on down. And we're back to The Real Deal. I'm Shelbie Rhodes, and I'm here with David Leonte and Darius Edwards. Tonight, we're going to be talking about sexism within female sportscasters and male athletes. Cam Newton has been reported on commenting against Jordan Rodriguez when she asked a question about routes. She asked a question to Cam Newton, and he laughed and said, "It's funny to hear a female talk about routes." What do y'all feel about that?
I personally feel that was kind of disrespectful just because female, she worked hard to get to that point, and she has all credibility in the world to talk about that. So he shouldn't have did her like that, in my opinion.
Of course I was disrespectful, but I see where he's coming from. That was disrespectful and very sexist, but I guess he's saying she never played the sport before, so she doesn't know how the route should be run or what it takes to be able to run the route. But it was still disrespectful on his part, but I can see where he's coming from.
So do you think a female shouldn't ask questions about
No, they
routes?
should, but I feel like I understand what he's saying, but it was disrespectful.
In another article, Nick Saban questioned when a sportscaster asked a simple question that anyone else would ask about both quarterbacks. He said something along the lines of, "I'm pissed and I'm going to show it," and it was very disrespectful. And to get that sports reporter back to their games, Nick Saban had to have an official apologizer send her a message. In your opinion, do you think he should have sent a written apology or his official apologizer should have sent one?
I feel like he definitely should have sent one. It's uncharacteristic for him to behave that way because he's known for being such a professional coach and the best coach in college football. With that being said, she was just doing her job, and for him to come at her like that, it would have been more professional if he would have actually apologized to her.
I agree with him. He should have been man enough to just go apologize himself, really in person, because that make him look. It wouldn't rekindle his appearance, but it would help out with what he just did. So I feel like he should have been the man who did that.
Most definitely. And I would also say he could have made it public too. Even if he didn't do it face to face, he still could have made it public to where, because he's a known figure. So if he says it, brings it to the public, a lot of attention will go towards it. So it would have made the situation a little better.
Do y'all think a lot of female sportscasters get a lot of negativity in the industry?
Yeah.
Oh, most definitely. And it's not fair because they work hard just like we do. Honestly, female sports broadcasters and journalists work harder than men because they have a harder road. Yeah. And so they shouldn't go through that, but it's just the world we live in.
Based on athlete stories, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but one broadcaster was giving an interview, and the athlete then stopped the interview and asked her to dinner. How do you feel about that? I just feel like that's very unprofessional and is basing her he's not even paying attention to the interview that's going on, but let's go to dinner.
Yeah, that's unprofessional.
Yeah, I would echo that. I agree. It's unprofessional. You can't mix business with pleasure. And at the end of the day, she's a professional. She's a journalist first. It's other ways that you can do something like that, but you don't want to cross that line. You got to show her respect.
And lastly, there's an article called 8 Female Sportscasters Employed for Their Looks and 7 for Their Talents. Do you believe that most sportscasters are employed for their looks, criticized for their looks, their voice, and not what they know, but what they don't know?
Wow, that's a great question. I will honestly say I feel like, especially with females, like obviously for television purposes, you want somebody that's very appealing to the audience. So obviously I get that perspective. But also they're intelligent as well. So even though they might look good, like say like Erin Andrews or something, she still has the knowledge of the game. So it goes hand to hand in my opinion.
I agree with him. I mean, they are criticized for how they look, and I mean, majority of the time they do know what they're talking about, but majority of the like stations would rather have somebody that looks appealing, that would make people want to actually watch. So I mean, yeah.
All right. Do you have anything else to say closing on females in the sports broadcasting industry?
I just wish all of them good luck, you know, and I just hope that we don't judge them as much and hard no more, because they actually work hard.
All right, well, y'all heard it first here on The Real Deal, and we'll see you next week. Breaking news! Dak Prescott has broken his back from carrying the weight of the team on it. Oh my God, bye! Hi there, we're back with a special insight here on The Real Deal. I'm here with Darius Edwards. How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for being here. So what is your overall opinion of women sportscasters?
I feel that women sports broadcasters work extremely hard. I have a lot of respect for them, and they're very intelligent, and so I think they're good for television.
Do you think there's a different road between women and men?
Absolutely. When men, they have an easier road just because, you know, going way back into the beginning of time, it's always been like a male-dominated world, and so women have to work extremely hard to get to where they are. And
do you think it would be better to change the opinion of our generation and the generation right in front of us and right behind us instead of working on the older generation?
Yes, our generation has the ultimate power to do that just because of social media. So, like, our parents didn't have social media. Now we actually have it. We have a platform. So I believe with that platform, we can definitely, like, change the landscape of women journalism, and, like, in a positive effect. We can have a positive effect on the world as far as women journalism.
As an athlete yourself, are you more comfortable being interviewed by a female, or is it more nerve-wracking to you? Why?
I'm comfortable. You know, I'm comfortable talking to really anybody. I feel like a female has a job just like a male has a job, and it's just to ask great questions that they feel is necessary for television and for their job. So I'm comfortable in all aspects.
Being completely honest, have you judged a female in the industry based off her voice, looks, social status, and or style? Who and why?
Wow, that's another great question. I'm not really a judgmental person, and I feel like there's no need for that. I've witnessed people judge females based off their reporting, but I feel like there's no need for it. I've never personally judged a female. I've treated her the same as I would treat a male.
So you've never decided to just watch Erin Andrews because how pretty she is?
No, I mean she is gorgeous, but at the same time she still has a job to do. Like, it wouldn't be no good if she looked pretty but didn't know what she was doing. So I never judged a female.
All right, on the last one. How does it make you feel that for women to even be looked at in the industry, they have to be able to produce, edit, write questions, be on air, interview, communicate, and run scripts, probably a bunch of other things, but men can be good at one or two of these aspects and earn a spot in the broadcasting world almost immediately?
It's heartbreaking. It just goes to show just the women road is harder than men. I mean, women have to be versatile, and then not to mention, like, most people are going for like a good looking female, so that's like throwing out probably in certain people aspects over 50% of women, which is not fair. And so, like, I have a tremendous respect just because y'all have to do more than men do, and in some aspects y'all really better than men just because y'all come more prepared. So
all right, well, thank you for being here tonight, and take it away.
Thank you for having me. Peace.
Now, after all this talk tonight on The Real Deal, it's time for you to make your own opinion. Do you believe that female sportscasters have been treated unfairly by male athletes? Leave your comments below, and we'll see you next week at the same time. See you then. I would like to thank these 3 online articles for letting me use their information in making this broadcast. From the Sportsters, 8 female sportscasters employed for their looks and 7 for their talent. From CBS Sports NFL, Cam Newton reportedly stunned by fallout from sexist remark, says it was sarcasm. And finally, from USA Today, Nick Saban owes ESPN's Maria Taylor an apology, the first of likely more he will owe. Thank you so much for letting me use your information and making this informative broadcast, and I hope I've changed the opinions of most of y'all. Thank you. This is Dave. Stop. After all this talk that you've heard, no.
The difference is simple that
I can't do this.